Welcome back to Does It Go Hard, the show where I review movies, video games, and other stuff. Today, I will be reviewing the latest game in the LEGO genre of video games, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. So LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is the latest title by TT Games and WB Games, where they have decided to challenge themselves a bit this time around by not only reinventing the LEGO formula, but also expanding the Star Wars franchise in LEGO form like they've never done it before in the past. And TT Games is not new to the whole thing of making a video game, or at least a LEGO video game based on a famous or popular IP. They've done these things in the past before with other franchises like Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, Pirates of the Caribbean, etc. But it is very true that the Star Wars or LEGO Star Wars games are the most popular amongst fans, and are the ones that people are most excited to play and see how they compare to not only past LEGO games, but specifically past LEGO Star Wars games. Ever since 2005, when the first LEGO Star Wars the video game came out, it was very much clear that it was a huge success and was kind of the game that put them on the radar and made them somewhat of a household name. Now for LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, the studio wanted to go bigger, expand, and reinvent the LEGO game formula just enough for it to feel fresh and new. The question is, did they achieve their goal? Well, that's why I'm here. Like always, I'll start with my positives, and for my first positive is going to be the gameplay. Let me tell you, this is the most fun I've had playing a LEGO game in a long time. The gameplay feels very smooth and nice. This really feels like an evolution to the, I guess you could call, formulaic formula of the LEGO games, or at least past LEGO games, and not to like dunk on those past installments, but after a while you do kind of start to see that the LEGO games really don't try a lot of new stuff. They really like to maintain themselves to their kind of safe spot in terms of the gameplay, and not to say that this game doesn't have that, of course. It still has the traditional stuff that a LEGO game should have, but it also goes above and beyond on trying to do a few different things and a few new interesting and fun things that I feel that both for veterans and newcomers will be just a joy to play, man. There are space battles, there's all types of different quests on a lot of planets from all 9 films. It's really cool, man. And yes, while there are a few things that could have been done a bit better in some areas, it was still a blast to play a LEGO game that really was fun from beginning to end. My next positive is one that I was actually very surprised about, and that is the graphics and the art direction. I mean, it's a LEGO game. Like, there's going to be a lot of LEGO structures and a lot of stuff that is going to be very LEGO-ish like, to say the least. But to me, the most impressive thing, and again, the art direction is nice, it's very cool. It's always nice to see these films recreated in such an interesting style, like the LEGO style. It's just fun, man. But again, to me, the thing that really stand out the most about this was the graphics, man. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, this is some real, like, big, like, AAA graphic shit. I think I read an article saying where they talked about the fact that they were working in crunch hours, which is really terrible, okay? For those who don't know what crunch hours are, is basically when you are overworking employees but not really compensating them for overworking so much. For layman's terms, basically imagine having somebody work for more than what they're supposed to and not getting paid more for doing so. I know, it's very stupid, it's very wrong, it's very dumb, and also The fact that they had to work with an engine, a different engine this time around. I think they had to design the game around the, what was it? Unreal Engine 5, if I'm not mistaken. Which again, nowadays, like almost every game is being done in Unreal Engine 5, which is nothing wrong. But the thing is that it's such a new software that it's gonna be a little bit hard for some studios to get used to it and really use it good, you know. But here, it seems like it worked pretty well in a lot of ways, but especially with the graphics. Again, the game looks absolutely beautiful. There are landscapes in this game that literally look like something out of Death Stranding or The Last of Us. Like, that's how stupid good the graphics look in this game. Never in my life did I ever expect a Lego game to look this beautiful. Like, literally, there were times where I would just be standing around just to look at the environment and just how nice and how detailed they all were. It was really a treat, man. This was, in terms of graphics, this game delivered the huge, like the biggest surprise in that department. Like, holy shit, man. Like, I mean, I can't stop gushing about it. And even with those, like, beautiful, almost realistic graphics, the game still keeps the Lego style. You still have a lot of Lego structures. The characters are still Lego. From afar, you think this is just another AAA game that probably Naughty Dog is making, or Rockstar or Santa Monica Studios, but no, this is a Lego game. But again, like I said, even with those, like, incredible graphics, the game still feels like a Lego game, and it still keeps tradition on making stuff still feel and look like Lego, and that's very cool, especially in this game. The texture on the characters is very impressive. Like, you literally can feel, you can literally see, and you actually believe that these characters are Lego characters. They literally have plasticky, like, textures to them. Under their arms, you can see, like, the Lego logo on it, and it's like, that's really cool, man. I love that stuff. Man, I just never expected that I would be gushing about a Lego game in this department. But hey, man, kudos to them. They really accomplished something really cool with the art direction and the graphics in this game. It's truly impressive. My next positive has to be the humor. Now, yes, let's be completely honest. The humor in Lego games is childish, okay? The humor in these games is very, very simple. It's very okay. It's kind of it's not really stuff that will make you burst out laughing, but it's funny enough where you can get a chuckle, maybe a small laugh here and there, or you just have a big smile on your face because it's so charming. That's the thing about the humor in Lego games, especially in this one in particular. The humor is so charming that you can't help but just laugh, you know? Or just have a big old smile on your face. Like, let me tell you, playing this game, it was such a treat. Not only because, again, the gameplay, the graphics, and the world and all that stuff, that's cool and all, but the humor as well plays a part in that. I just had a big smile on my face most of the time. And there were a few times where I actually laughed and I actually chuckled a few times. Like, again, like I said, it's very simple humor, don't get me wrong, but it's still effective enough where you can enjoy it and you can really, you can have a good time with it, you know? You're not gonna be grouchy, you're not gonna be like, ugh, this dumb shit. No, it's going to be a pleasant, charming, fun time with the dialogue that they've given to the characters, and with also the somewhat creative liberties that they take on telling the story of these films. Yes, they're still faithful to them, don't get me wrong, they are still very much faithful to the source material, but they do take creative liberties here and there to make stuff a little bit more funny, a little bit more satirical, a little bit more kind of almost poking fun of itself, you know? And that's always really fun, man. And I gotta just give it a huge thumbs up for that. And for my final positive, it has to be the characters, man. This was the part of the game that really also took me by surprise. Again, like most LEGO games, you're gonna have a huge roster of characters. Sometimes these games can get very crazy with the amount of characters that they put in, and it never bothers me. I think it's always cool that they put in so much time and effort into designing each one of these characters. I think it's very cool. And this game has a lot of characters, a lot. It's shocking how many characters this game has. We complain about how games nowadays like to take away content or just lock content behind a paywall and how shitty and stupid that is. This game gives you a lot of content, okay? It gives you so much, and it's very much clear with that in the characters. The characters in this game are crazy. It's a crazy amount of characters. Even side characters, characters in the background are playable characters. It's ridiculous, man. Pretty much any character that has been in any of the Star Wars films is in this game. It is just so fucking awesome, dude. There are characters here that I never in my life I would have imagined would be playable characters in anything Star Wars. But hey, in LEGO Star Wars, almost anything is possible. Almost anybody is a playable character. You can play from Max Rebo to fucking Cloud. The fucking the slug creature thing from Rise of Skywalker. Probably the best character in Star Wars and probably the best thing to come out of that god-awful movie. So now I'm gonna be talking about the negatives. And this is gonna be a little bit of an interesting conversation because I want to make sure I wasn't the only one that was suffering from some of these things. Because some of the issues that I stumbled upon in my game became a bit annoying and frustrating after a while. But whatever, I'll get into that later. I'll just talk about my first negative, that being the co-op multiplayer. In the past, LEGO games have had co-op multiplayer, and it's always been in the style of a split screen, if I'm not mistaken. I never really played that much of the co-op in LEGO games. I always just kind of played it in single player mode for the most part. But I do know that it's been, forever it's been split screen. But the co-op multiplayer here is, again, or at least the co-op multiplayer in this game is split screen. There's no online multiplayer, so if you want to play with your friends online, I'm sorry as shit, you're out of luck because there's none of that. Which to me is not really a big deal. I don't really care about that stuff, especially for a LEGO game. I really don't care. But here, co-op multiplayer is actually that a lot of people like it. A lot of people do use it in LEGO games, especially people enjoy it in LEGO Star Wars. Now, I'll be completely honest. I have not tried the co-op multiplayer, mainly because I played the game on the PS5, okay? I played the PS5 version, so I only have one PS5 controller. And to buy another PS5 controller is a shitload of money. I think how many? It's $70 or $80 for a controller. I think it maybe even more than that. I'm not completely sure. But I just know that it's a lot of money for just one controller. It's ridiculously high. So I didn't get to try it myself. But for what I heard and for what I read, people aren't really happy with it. Mainly because the gameplay has... This is a thing that I didn't mention about the gameplay. The gameplay is not the perspective, the angle in which you are playing the game is totally different from past LEGO games, where it's very much like a third person, almost from up high. The gameplay is from a very high angle, and here in this game, the gameplay or the perspective it's still in third person, but it's more in third person, kind of like it is in God of War 2018, or in other modern AAA games, or in first person shooters, where it's the angle is kind of the camera is over the shoulder of the character. That's how the perspective is in this game. For what I've read from people, this gets in the way of the co-op multiplayer. It makes it very weird looking, it makes it uncomfortable, it makes it hard to cooperate with the other player with this weird uncle with this weird with this weird angle. So that definitely is something that a lot of people found disappointing, that the co-op multiplayer wasn't really well thought out, or they didn't find a better way to kind of integrate the co-op multiplayer in a way where it worked better, or at least it felt more comfortable to play. But again, I can't really speak for myself on this because I haven't tried it myself, but for what I've seen, not a lot of people are very happy with it. So I just wanted to put this on my list of negatives, because it is a little bit disappointing that something that a lot of people actually like from these games is kind of not so good in this one, you know? So yeah, it's a shame, definitely. It's disappointing. My next negatives are going to be a lot more technical now. And my second negative here are performance issues. Yes, unfortunately, I suffered from a few performance issues. Not a lot, but when they did happen, they were a little bit bothersome. Okay, now here's the thing. I don't know exactly why performance issues even happen. I think it's more of a graphical thing. I feel like it's more like the power of the console not being able to handle it. But at the same time, it's like, I'm pretty sure that PS5 can handle something like Lego Star Wars, okay? So it's really weird to me to see that this game has as much performance issues as it has. Like, that is weird to me. And again, they weren't like a lot, but when there were, they were a bit bothersome, and they felt very like, that was odd. Like, I feel like this game should not be provoking this type of reaction, you know? Or at least it shouldn't be provoking these performance issues, but it does. And that was just very awkward, and it really sometimes broke my immersion. And here's the thing, I don't know if they are going to fix these at some point. Honestly, they need to fix these performance issues, definitely. I don't know how it is in other systems. Like, I don't know how this is working on the Xbox Series X / S. I don't know how it's working on last generation consoles. I don't know how it's working on PC. I don't know how the performance is on any other platform. This is from me coming from somebody that played it on the PS5, and it was just odd to see that this game had as many performance issues as it had. It was just a very odd thing that happened once in a while in the game. Again, it's not a huge complaint, but it was very jarring, I'll say that. The next negative is actually a list of small nitpicks, mainly two. First of all, I feel like the controls for the space battles is a little bit awkward. It feels a bit janky. It's one of those controls that you really need to get used to the more you play. And you do get used to them, but at the same time, I kind of wish like there was a better way to do this. Like, it's one of those things where it's like an inconvenience in some way. Like, yeah, like I don't really like the controllers, but it feels like I don't have any other option, so I just kind of play along with it. But even then, it's not like I'm enjoying it too much. The space battles are cool, they're fun, don't get me wrong, and they can be very exciting. It's just that sometimes the weird controls and the weird that the ships move can really get in the way of the enjoyment. But again, that's just kind of a personal thing of mine. And the other nitpick is the DLC. This DLC is very mediocre, in my opinion. Like, these DLCs are just basically fucking character packs, which is like cool. Like, if you want to have the Mandalorian in the game, which is okay, that's awesome, I guess. But at the same time, it's like, really, like, you're gonna ask me for like, I don't know, like, how much do I charge for the DLC? Like $7 per pack, or like a little bit less or more, just for character packs? It's like ridiculous. Like, if you gave me like missions related to like those characters, then I would have been like, okay, that's kind of cool. But no, you just get character packs and you just get the characters, and that's all. And I'm sorry, but that's kind of lame. I don't really like that too much. I hope that maybe in the future they might add some missions related to those characters and those character packs, but right now that doesn't really seem to be the plan. Also, the lack of Clone Wars characters is kind of insulting, okay? Like, I get it that this is supposed to be about the Skywalker Saga, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, wow, can you please put like some more Clone Wars characters, for God's sakes? And for my last negative, and this is by far the fucking worst one of them all. This one genuinely fucking pissed me the fuck off, okay? Now, what am I talking about? Visual glitches and game-breaking bugs. This legitimately fucking made me angry. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Are you fucking serious, game? Like, here's the thing. I understand the developers went through some crunch development. I understand. But at the same time, this game has been in development for 5 years. And I'm not going to use the whole, well, they were on crunch development. Okay, that's not a good excuse enough for me, okay? This game was in development for 5 fucking years. And you are telling me, seriously, that this game comes with visual glitches and game-breaking bugs? Are you shitting me? Like, seriously? That's fucking stupid. For example, one of the things that happened the most is when I was fighting a boss, like out of nowhere, the boss will just freeze, or right when I finish like beating the boss, the game does not progress. Like, it gets stuck in that area. Like, this happened multiple times. This did not happen like very rarely, okay? Like, this happened like at least once every, I don't know, like it happened like maybe in total, I think it maybe happened like around 10 times, maybe. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was 10 times it happened. Because it usually happened in the same bosses. Like, in the Rise of Skywalker level, or, you know, part of the game, there is a mission where you have to beat like this little BB-8 droid, like Imperial BB-8 droid, and it's an easy boss, okay? It's nothing really complicated, but once I finished beating the boss, it got stuck. Like, after that, you need to like expect for the game to advance and to progress, you know? But no, this game, it just makes me angry just thinking about it. Like, again, the game got stuck. Like, I defeated the boss, but the boss was still going. Like, the boss was still shooting at me, the boss was still trying to kill me, and the game would just not progress. That's the worst thing. Like, I can take like a dumb bug like that, okay? If the game still at least lets me progress, man. The problem is that most of these game-breaking bugs really that never were kind to me in terms of, okay, we're gonna be stupid, but at least we're gonna let you progress. No, none of that shit. This also happened a lot in cutscenes. This happened mostly in cutscenes. In boss fights and in missions, it happened rarely, but in cutscenes, it happened more frequently. Where, for some reason, like, for example, one of the examples, in the Phantom Menace part of the game, in one of the missions, for some reason, when I entered one of the cutscenes of the game, the screen was just black for some reason. Like, it was just completely dark, it was completely black, I could not see the cutscene. I could hear the voices of the characters, and I could, like, hear what was going on, but I could not see anything. And I was like, okay, that's kind of a weird, like, error that just happened in the game. But, okay, like, whatever. The cutscene's gonna end, and then I'll go back to the gameplay. Once the fucking cutscene ended, it never went back to the gameplay. Never. It stayed in that goddamn black screen. And no matter which button I pressed, nothing happened. No matter whatever I tried to do to maybe fix it, nothing happened. I had to literally... I literally had to close the game and go back into the game again. Fortunately, the game was very nice that time and said, okay, we are going to put you in a checkpoint before that cutscene. So, okay, that is nice. At least the game was nice enough to give me that one. But here's the thing, the game is not always nice to you when shit like this happens. So, this was a very very small miracle, a very small, like, okay, we're gonna fuck with you, but not too much, so let's give him this one, okay? You know, but the rest, fuck that. There were times where I literally had to restart an entire fucking mission because of this shit. Or not an entire mission, but I had to restart literally an entire segment of a level. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Not this shit. Why? The shit was just annoying. Like, it really got on my fucking nerves. It was so irritating. I was fuming every time this shit happened, because I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Now you're gonna make me do this dumb shit again because, uh-oh, the game fucked up. And now I gotta fucking do all this shit because the game acted stupid. Man, fuck off with that dumb shit. That is some fucking bullshit. You hear me clearly. Bullshit! Anyways, good game. But hey, we are finally here. The final verdict. Overall, what did I think about LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga? Well, let me say, as much as some of the issues got on my nerves, this game was still a lot of fucking fun, man. This game was still a blast to play, okay? Yes, there was these negatives, of course. There was these bothersome shit like the visual glitches and the game-breaking bugs, especially those fucking bugs. Fuck them. The game still works for the most part. If I could like maybe describe this like in a way, like I can say like 95% of the game works perfectly fine. It works beauties. It works wonders, okay? The other 5%, it's that dumb bullshit with the fucking co-op and the fucking visual glitches and the bugs and shit, and my small nitpicks, okay? So, by the end, what rating will I give LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga? After really thinking about it, and I had to really think about this, there's still a lot of stuff that I need to play about this game, okay? Like, I finished a lot of stuff. Like, I finished a lot of side missions, but mainly I wanted to finish every one of the movies. But man, this game was just so much fun, and it's the most fun I've had in a LEGO game in years. I'm being a little bit generous here, okay? Because maybe I'm being a little bit too mean. Yes, they went through the whole doing crunch time with the game, and that can cause things to slip up and to maybe some glitches and bugs to kind of get into the cracks somehow, okay? So maybe I'm being unfair like that. That's why I'm being a little bit more generous with the game. Really, if I'm going to be like super critical, it's more like a standard goes raw. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga definitely goes raw. But anyways, thank you so much for watching the review. I really hope you enjoyed this one. It was really fun to cover a more modern, more recent title. But don't worry, I definitely plan on covering more less recent titles, of course. But anyways, again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe if you want to keep watching my videos and you want to be notified when I upload. And of course, if you want to just, you know, just share, just spread the word of this channel, please. It will really help a lot to make this channel grow even more. Share it to your parents, to your sister, to your brother, to whoever, your friends, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. Just please. What do you think of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga? Did you like the game? Did you dislike the game? Did you have some of the same issues that I had with the game? Leave it down in the comments. Again, I am really interested in seeing what you guys think of the game. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.